What's going on, guys? Josh Ayers, hashtag Ayers Fitness, signing in. I'm sure, as you can see from my hand, something's wrong with it. I want to keep the interest of this video on the topic, as you've read ahead, above my head, up here, okay, the title. So I'm going to make a separate video talking about my hand because I'm actually going to go see the orthopedics doctor here in a little bit. So I will let you know about that. So I want to get into the topic of this video, Noob Gainz, or beginner strength. Now the thing is, a lot of people ask questions, hey, I brought my buddy into the gym and he was weak when he first started working out and I was stronger than him, and then over the course of a couple weeks, he got stronger than me. What the hell's going on? I used to be able to curl so much, now my buddy's over here, been in the gym a couple weeks and he's curling me. What the hell is happening? Now, I want to tell you, it is not a trick. It is not magic. There's nothing crazy about it. It is pure science. And you actually went through it too. Everybody goes through this. It's something called neurological adaptations. Now what happens is, I want to break this down a little bit without going into too much science. Basically what happens is, there's obviously nerves, neurons, going from your brain through your spinal cord and out to your muscles. And your muscles are made up of muscle fibers. And so the ends of the nerves, they have, too many bugs out here. There's, at the ends of the nerves, of the neurons, the axon, there are these little things hanging off. I can't think of the name right now, but there's these little like tree-looking branches. We could say branches that are like hanging off like this, and off the axon. And what is let's say this is a muscle fiber, and it's going like this, and what it is because it doesn't actually touch, it sends a signal or an impulse or something through their neurotransmitters that transmit from the nerves into the cells. And depending on what it is, it could be for different things. But basically that process is what starts neurological adaptations. Now, there's something called a motor unit, which you must understand also. A motor unit is made up of the amount or number of neurons and the amount of cells that it innervates with. So you can have one neuron that connects with, or no, I'm sorry, not connects, but innervates with many different muscle fibers. So obviously something as your eyeball. Your eyeball is the opposite. So your eyeball, since it has very finite movement, let me get in there so you can see my pretty beautiful eyes. As I look all around, it is like very controlled, precise movements. I can move it, you know, pretty crazy. Like I can move them, you know, it's pretty precise. Your eyeball is pretty precise. So the thing is, there's not a lot of, there's not a large group or a large motor unit connected to your eye. Your eye, there's only a couple nerves connected to it. So the motor units are very small, as in comparison to the quad muscle. Look at that, can't even get him on my shorts, bruh. Can't see him. Well, let's say the bicep. We'll compare it to the bicep, because my quads are too big to get out of my shorts, because I'm just a monster. Just joking, but anyway, we'll compare it to the bicep muscle. So your eye has a small unit, because it is small. It does very finite movements, and you don't need a lot of motor units. However, for your bicep, it moves a lot more weight. Okay, and you need a lot more, because if I would, let's say I'm holding a 25-pound dumbbell, okay, and if I only recruit a small number of motor units or a small motor unit, and I got a 50-pound dumbbell, because I'm strong. I'm strong. Okay, got a 50-pound dumbbell, and I'm only recruit a small number or small motor units, and I try to curl it. I'm only going to get right here. That's not going to do me very much good. Now, let's say I recruit a large number of motor units and larger motor units. I'm going to be able to curl it all the way because I'm using more. I'm using more muscle fibers. I have more nerves I have more nerves interacting with more muscle fibers. So the more muscle fibers I'm going to be using, I'm obviously going to move more weight. Because the more muscle fibers is going to be more weight. Less muscle fibers you're using, the less strength will be put towards force, you could say. So when you bring somebody in the gym, even if they have a whole bunch of muscles starting out and they might seem weak in the beginning and then they get strong real quick, it's going to be because they have the muscle, but their brain and their body, they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to recruit the proper amount or size of motor units needed to do the work. Now, this is what we call neurological adaptation, from which it could be in comparison, I guess you could say, with muscle memory in a sense. That might be a topic for another video, but I guess one could relate it to, we could say, muscle memory, because of the fact it is a adaptation, it is remembering that action, which I guess you could say is kind of synonymous with neurological adaptation. So neurological adaptation is going to be knowing the movement, it's going to be knowing the amount of fibers, the amount and size of motor units needed to do the work. So the thing is, when you bring somebody into the gym and they're curling, the first time they curl, they can only curl about 20 pounds. They try to do 30 pounds, they can only squeeze out maybe 1 or 2 reps, but over the course of 2-3 weeks, they're able to curl that for multiple sets for multiple reps. And that's because they didn't put on any crazy amount of muscle, they didn't, you know, get super stronger, and nothing like that happened but their body built up a neurological adaptation and learned properly how to recruit the right amount and size of motor units needed to do the work. Our bodies are amazing, and our body is all about adaptation and making as much work for us as easy as possible. So your body said, instead of, hey, recruiting just a small amount and small size number of motor units, how about, and we're going to be struggling and putting a lot more energy and effort towards it because we're trying, but we can't really get it because we're not using as many muscle fibers. It's going to recruit more, so that way you can get the job done with a lot more ease and a lot less energy put forth towards it, because your body wants to save as much energy as possible. So that is how Noob Gainz happen, and typically this lasts a duration about 8 weeks. Some people will say, you know, the first year or two you can put on all this kind of crazy size. To be 100% honest, I haven't looked in too much depth about that as to how it would affect over the course of a couple years with beginners. Obviously, I want to say one of the stigmas and one of the reasons behind this, a lot of people say this, is because they don't want people jumping into advanced programs and hurting themselves when their body hasn't fully adapted to that type of training. And you know, there's multiple variables that are that need to be looked at when you're talking about this. You know, there's going to be the frequency, the time, type, duration, intensity. You know, there's a whole bunch of other different factors that are going to go in this too. But I can see where a lot of people will say that, you know, they want you to do certain things within the first year or two. I think it's mainly for safety concern and getting used to it and getting the proper technique down, which I think is fine. So, but typically the neurological adaptations take about 8 weeks to complete. You know, give or so. Obviously, everybody's different. The genetics are different. Each individual will adapt differently. But typically, it's about the first 8 weeks, and then you'll be right on par, you'll be right on course, I guess you could say, with everybody else. So obviously, as the longer you do this, after that 8 weeks are up, all of your neurological adaptations should be built, so you should be able to recruit the most and largest amount of motor units to do whatever the work is. And obviously that is why it's, once you do it, it will seem to slow down. You'll seem to make this crazy, great, massive gains in the beginning, and then it's going to slow down, and that's because you are now able to recruit all of the muscle that you have in your body to do the work. And so now comes the fun part. It comes the marathon. Rather than the sprint, no matter what you're doing, football, basketball, bodybuilding, whatever it is, you gotta know and understand, even with life, it is not a sprint by any means, it is a marathon. So you gotta put the work in, time in, do the research, ask questions, all kinds of things. It is a marathon, so don't try to rush through things. So like I was saying, it comes into play here, and so you built up all your neurological adaptations, you're recruiting the most amount of muscle that you can, and now's the time to put on the size. So when you want to get stronger, you have to put on the size, which is the fun part, because that is the marathon. Because we all know, muscle does not come easy, it does not come quick by any means. Lots of hard work put in, lots of hours in the gym, lots of eating, lots of training, sleeping, all kinds of good stuff going in there. Lots of research, making sure you're doing optimal this, optimal that, yada yada. It never ends. So now, welcome to the fun part. If you have passed your 8 weeks and your beginning of your cycle, congratulations. Welcome to the marathon. And do not be discouraged, because the gains will continue to come. Just make sure you're putting in the hard work, stay dedicated, motivated, inspired. Is that a word? Stay inspired. There we go, we'll use that. Make sure you're checking out Ayers Fitness. Stay up to date with all the latest topics. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, comment down below. Please don't forget to like. Hit that like button. It's a thumb. It's like this. It's either facing this way or this way. Thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, not the thumbs down. Hit the thumbs up button if you like my video. If you want to see more, comment down below. Please share. It is not hard. Just click the button. It says share. 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 Or just copy the link. Copy the link up here, and then put it on Facebook. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Instagram. Put it on any social media site that you're on. I'm sure all of your friends would love to see this video and learn about neurological adaptations and Noob Gainz and why people get so strong so darn quick when you bring them to the gym and they're weaker than you, and your workout partner is now stronger than you. What the hell's going on? Well, he just built up all his neurological adaptations, just as you had, and now his gains are going to come slow, just like yours are. But you can keep it up to an optimal level as long as you're training, eating, sleeping, doing your research, and doing everything that you can. So, and also, part of that, one secret real quick before I end this video, one of the best ways that you can build muscle, burn fat, and just get ripped, shredded, and everything that you want, get a six-pack, one trick I'm going to tell you right now how you can do this. Don't tell anybody else. Actually, I lied. Tell everybody, okay? What you gotta do, watch my videos! That's how you do it. It's that simple. You watch these videos, you will get stronger, bigger, faster, everything. Bigger, faster, stronger. Should have said in that order. That will all happen. So make sure you're staying up to date. Ayers Fitness, out!